This is living proof that this is a police state, and these are terrorists. Outright freaking terrorists.
America, land of the free, where the police serve and protect us, and so does the Constitution.
You can try all you want with your constitutional bull, alright?
A lot of people still cling to this romantic idea that we are so free simply because we live in the United States, complete with laws and constitutional amendments that are there supposedly to protect our freedoms. Does this paint an accurate picture of reality? The Fourth Amendment is supposed to protect us from things like warrantless searches and seizures of ourselves and our belongings. The Fifth Amendment is supposed to protect our right to remain silent, to protect individuals from being forced to incriminate themselves, and to protect our right to refuse to answer questions from government agents. A lot of Americans now have gotten used to and even praise the practice of suspicionless detainments, questioning, and searches, believing that as long as it's for our safety and security, it's a good thing. But some individuals who still understand and care about their rights choose not to comply with these suspicionless searches, seizures, and interrogations. But what usually happens when those individuals attempt to exercise their rights at suspicionless checkpoints?
You done? Can you roll the window down? I can hear you just fine. No, I want you to roll the window down. Why is that, sir? Because I'm going to break it if you don't open it.
Am I being detained?
Pull over to the side,
That's
right
a fucking
there.
terrorist right there.
Right now.
Excuse me,
Another
We
terrorist.
have your license and insurance. Yes, you are resisting at this point.
No, sir.
We need a psycho act.
What is your reasonable suspicion?
One more time.
Listen to me, man.
Because I'm God, I can do whatever I want. I got a fucking badge.
Stop. I gotta unbuckle my seatbelt first.
Where's my husband?
Dude, what are you doing?
That's terrorism, man. At its finest. Anybody can't recognize that, you're a fucking fool.
More often than not, when individuals simply ask the question, am I being detained or am I free to go, no matter how politely, are met with hostility from the police, and oftentimes ridicule and condemnation from
Especially if you're of color. That sucks.
Most of the time, when citizens exercise their right to refuse a warrantless search of themselves or their belongings, the police would just use their canines to give themselves permission to search whatever they want.
Sir, I just want you to let... I don't...
It's the king's men.
I don't consent to search, sir.
The terrorists.
Sir, I don't consent to any searches.
The fucking
Time and time again,
terrorists.
it has been discovered that police have trained their canines to produce fake hits and false alerts, yet canines are still widely used by police departments all over the country, even going as far as dog swearing ceremonies, as a way to ensure the public that using canines in place of warrants is a constitutional and honest practice.
That's a fucking joke right there. Literally.
What's even more
Retardation.
telling about law enforcement using their dogs to search citizens is the fact that they will only use their dogs to grant themselves permission for a search, but they will not use their dogs to locate anything in the search.
Yeah.
Suspicionless checkpoints have now been normalized into our society. Sobriety checkpoints, immigration checkpoints, safety checkpoints, insurance checkpoints, identification checkpoints, seatbelt checkpoints. The list keeps on going.
Stazi-land
They implement them for almost any
USA.
reason now and for pretty much every holiday. But still, some continue to praise the practice, believing that as long as it's for our safety, it's worth the temporary suspension of our rights. Once the premise is accepted that it's okay to briefly suspend the rights of everyone in the name of safety and security, what argument could be made against the idea that if it could just stop one crime or save one life, then the police should be able to go door to door and search our homes? In principle, it's the exact same
I'd
thing.
love that.
But statists be like, well, as long as you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to worry about. This is the equivalent of saying,
Retardation.
as long as you aren't breaking any laws, then you don't need to have rights. In actuality, checkpoints do a terrible job at keeping people safe, but do an incredible job at generating revenue from the public.
Absolutely.
Checkpoints nowadays have become nothing more than legalized shakedowns and fundraisers for
Road
police
bandits.
departments. And for them, it's perfect. It sure makes their job of ticketing people a whole lot easier. Instead of them having to go out and look for signs of impairment, establishing probable cause before making a stop, the police set up constitution-free zones where everyone who happens to be traveling down a certain roadway is subject to detention and searches and interrogation. And instead of stopping real
Stazi-land
crimes, the vast
USA.
majority of citations issued at checkpoints are for things like petty equipment failure violations that have absolutely nothing to do with the original scope of the stop. While there are so many reasons to oppose checkpoints, the most concerning reason is the fact that we are supposed to be treated as if we are innocent until proven guilty. Suspicionless checkpoints
Oh, you're guilty
have
until
completely
proven
reversed
innocent
this
now.
concept. Police checkpoints, reminiscent of certain other times throughout human history, are nothing more than detention interrogation without cause, where they will hold you as long as they want for whatever reason they want, as long as they say they think you might be guilty of something. Oh, it's okay, I'm just following orders. That makes it okay. That changes morality. No, it doesn't. This is the exact type of mentality that led people to commit some of the worst crimes throughout human history.
Absolutely.
We have let this blatant violation of our rights become so out of control that now, being implemented with growing popularity among police departments all over the country, are no refusal, forced blood draw checkpoints.
We all are American citizens, and you guys got me strapped to a table like I'm in one-time man.
At the Gwinnett County Jail, every forced blood draw begins with strapping down the suspect on a padded table and putting them in a head grasp.
At these checkpoints, all an officer has to do is say they suspect you of being impaired, and then you'll be strapped to a gurney, put in a chokehold, and have your blood taken from you without your consent. This is dangerous to the freedom of everyone, because this suggests that not even your own body belongs to you, but it belongs to government. If every police officer swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, yet they constantly violate that oath.
Absolutely.
What was the point?
They're taking my blood without my consent. What country is this?
Stazi-land USA.
How many pictures have you seen shared on social media by statists that promote violating human rights over a piece of fabric?
More than I can
Statism
count.
is a mental disorder brought
Sure
by
is.
years and years of indoctrination.
This is not a form of brainwashing. This is not a form of brainwashing.
Have you had anything to drink, sir?
I have the right to remain silent.
All right. You don't appear to be intoxicated. You're free to continue on, okay?
Is this just
Oh,
because
thank
we
you
have
so
cameras?
much. So, welcome to the reservation. Welcome to Stazi-land USA, where they claim you have rights, but you have none, because I can do what I want. I am the law, and ultimately the law ends up becoming the weapon of tyranny. Always. History proves that.